Hey, what's going on, traders? It's Johnny here at Trader X. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. And today I wanted to give you guys another quick recap on how my day trading went today. So as you guys can see on the screen, in terms of my day trading, I only traded the inverse ETF of the NASDAQ SQQQ, and I made $102.82 on that. And then this was my open position on Tesla, which I am swing trading right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into the breakdown. So in terms of how I made my money today, what I noticed when I got up at market open at 6:30 was that pre-market, the Nasdaq was indicating signs of a sell-off, right? It was trading between the middle and bottom VWAP, right? So it would sell off to the bottom VWAP, bounce to the top, or to the middle VWAP, become overextended, sell off again, right? And it continued this pattern. So as it started to push back up to the middle VWAP after bouncing on the bottom VWAP again, I knew that at market open, given that a lot of buyers or sellers were going to be entering the market, it could drive the price down as long as this pattern continued, right? So I identified a pattern that I liked. And so as the market opened, I got into the inverse ETF and then averaged up, right, as it broke below the EMA. And then I ended up, cutting my profits pretty early, right? So right around this area over here. So it did end up selling a lot more. And I ended up getting back in one more time, but ultimately I was happy with the way this trade ended up playing out, and I didn't know exactly when this thing was going to reverse, right? So I wanted to play it safe and just walk away, given the fact that, I was able to profit. And so today I was trading with $10,000, as you guys can see, if you do the math on the position sizes. And so, yeah, I made $100, so that's 1%. So that's the goal I'm going to be aiming for every day to hit this week. And so in terms of my swing trade on Tesla, I did want to break down what my thought process was. So as you guys know from a previous video, me and my brother got into Tesla with only 2 shares at an average price of $663, right? So right now it's trading right around $760. And so our plan with this is, if this thing sells off right to below $500, we're gonna cut losses on this position and be down around 300, right? But as of now, we're not gonna add to the position until the Nasdaq becomes or indicates more signs that it's gonna continue to uptrend, right? So as you guys know, the Nasdaq has been selling off lately, and it's been making these aggressive lower highs and lower lows. And so ultimately, as this thing pushed up, the past few days, it is becoming a bit more overextended. And so there is potential for this thing to continue to sell off, right? So as you guys can see from previous patterns, this thing has been getting rejected by the SMA, right? All these areas right around here, right? So ultimately, there is a good chance that this thing is going to sell off, but nothing has to happen, right? So I'm going to go ahead and follow up with that tomorrow, to see whether or not, if this thing continues to sell off, I can get into the inverse ETF like I did today, and profit that way with the market selling off. And if this thing ends up breaking this little chain, right, and continues to start uptrend and indicate signs of an uptrend, right, like it's been doing the past few days, where it continues to ride the EMA and make these higher highs and higher lows, then that is probably when I will consider trying to get into Tesla, right, with more shares. Because on the bigger time frame, right, the Nasdaq, it looks pretty good. So what I predict can happen is this thing can continue to sell off until it touches the SMA line, or it doesn't really have to, right? It can just push up here. So that's ultimately everything I wanted to go over today. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in. If you are new to the channel and learned something, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps us out a lot. But other than that, I will see you guys in tomorrow's recap. Take care and have a good rest of your day.